And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to All Angles Boxing and Combat Sports Channel. Today, on episode number 16, we have a special Christmas guest, Librado Andrade, who is bringing to us Adelita out of Mexico. And Librado, is going to explain to us exactly what that's all about, along with our host, Cesar Garcia with Grito de Guerra. Gentlemen, welcome
Hey
to the
everyone,
show.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So I usually let Caesar go ahead and pick it up. So Caesar, from here, please, by all means, brother, you're already on point. We've been going out on this already. So
Man, I'm here on I don't know what's wrong with me because it's Christmas and I'm here talking about boxing and I love it. I couldn't have it any other way. So absolutely having a great time. Like Librado said a little bit while we were off is the boxing is his life and it certainly is mine because it's on the top of my mind and the topic of conversation every day. So absolutely, let's have a good time on Christmas and talk about some boxing and it's an honor to have Librado here. I know I watched him fight. I know he honorably was the lone representative of the large weights for Mexican fighters for a long time. He fought at
Yes,
a very high level. Not too many people knew about him, which is unfortunate because his fights were. I mean, imagine a Mexican style fighter, but a big dude. That's what this guy was. I think you challenged
yeah.
for a title like 2 or 3 times, right, Librado? And
Yep,
I
three times. And
think
let's not forget Julio Gonzalez, who we were stablemates. He became a world champion, the only world champion as a light heavyweight when there was nobody there. Of course, I got my chances and I came a few seconds short, but no shame on that because I did all my best and I fought with all my heart.
whoever
Then there
saw
was
you.
my brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then there's your brother who also he doesn't look like a big dude, but he is a big dude too.
Yep, he was a middleweight. Then he fought a super middleweight. He fought a couple times for the world champion too. And of course, there wasn't that much of a backing up back then for Mexicans at that division. But hey, we did our best, and we couldn't be more happier than that.
Yeah, you guys did great, man. You guys were great fighters. Again, for the higher divisions, you guys were. I mean, something that was very rare. It is still right. It is still, although we have guys now that are making more noise, like Canelo and Zurdo and those guys. But
Exactly.
you guys were the ones who opened up the gates for them. So, and they were great fights, man. So it's an honor to have you here, an honor to talk to you.
Thank
Looks
you.
like we have another champ coming on.
Thank you, sis.
Honor to have her online as well. So, Cindy, how you doing?
Hi
Hey,
guys.
Paco. Hey, Cindy.
How are you guys?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yes. We're here with a former title challenger and Mexican great, heavyweight. I'm not saying heavyweight as in heavyweight, but heavier weights fighter,
Right.
Librado Andrade.
From that time, yeah.
That time,
Thank
yeah,
Now there's many.
not that long ago. Not that long ago. So it's not like it was a long time ago. And
Yeah.
but now he's moved on and he's still in boxing. He's boxing his life, and he's gonna talk to us about what is going on with him. I know he's doing a lot behind the scenes. I know he's involved with the PBC or was or is. I don't know. You tell us. But
Yeah.
there's a lot going on. A lot more going on now than when you were boxing. I think.
Well, hello everyone. Merry Christmas. Let me tell you guys a little bit about me. I I don't do much interviews, and I don't go in front of the camera as much. But since PBC started, I started with PBC. I'm part of the PBC family behind the scenes. There's a whole crew behind. There's many to say. Of course, everything that I'm doing has is because of I'm still involved in boxing. I've known great people, just like you guys were talking about. Uh, Boxing has its negativities, but it has so much more rewards that it really makes our life worthwhile, you know. And that side, that being said, the most amazing people that I share the time with is in boxing. With PBC, we have the CEO of PBC, which is a girl, and it's Sylvia Brown. She means the world to me. She's an amazing person. She is one of the most powerful women in boxing. which very few people know, but that's what it's all about. Like, really, who pulls the strings behind boxing and who makes things happen. And nobody has to know, we don't have to be in front of the cameras. We don't have to be saying, because it's not about us anymore. It's about the fighters. And that's what PBC is all about. It's about those fighters that are coming up. It's their time. And in boxing, our time is so short, we don't even realize it. It's here and it's gone. And then the rest of our life is long. And sometimes we find the difficulties. What is after life? What is after boxing? When boxing had became all of our life, it has consumed us. And then after boxing, what? There's nothing else. But somehow I've been able to stay in there, and I am very thankful for it. So I live in a very thankful side of the life. So I stay on a one-way street, and that is called being thankful. And that's me.
Wow, you know, that is I love that about you, Librado. Ever since we've interviewed you the first time we were on our other show, Rolling with the Punches, and when we met over in LA, we've chatted, we've talked, and that's what really how do you say got me about you is the humility of where you were. And you know what? Let me clear the record here. I believe you won that fight, and I will say it again. The first fight against Lucia Boutte. So you should have had that belt around your waist, and you should have carried that with you. And I believe that
he did win that fight.
Yes, he did. So I want to make the record clear there. So in our hearts and in our minds, and even now till this day, you're a champion. Cindy's a champion, and you guys are all champions in our hearts and in our minds.
And that's what it means. It means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Librado, so you retired from boxing. You said you were part of the first fighters, or you were one of the first fighters that came through as a PBC quote unquote fighter.
Not as a fighter, as a boxing, as the business side of PBC.
So when you fought, it was never under a PBC banner, never under a Al Heyman banner. Only this all that started after you retired from boxing. And what exactly were you doing?
So I was a fighter from 2005. I signed with Al Heyman in 2005. That was one thing that not a lot of people knew neither. I was one of the only Mexicans to that weight divisions, and I was one of the Mexicans that was signed to Al Heyman. After my career was done and PBC was going to start, there was different plans. Not to bring the past or anything. There was a lot of talk. You remember the Oscar de la Hoya situation, lawsuits and all that stuff. So PBC was born because of all of that. So PBC started in 2015? Mm-hmm. Something like that. By then I was already retired. And Al Heyman, he brought me aboard with the business side of boxing. So I worked for him and for Sylvia Brown, which is the CEO of PBC. And of course, Al Heyman is the owner. And that's how I ended up being involved with boxing. And basically, we are family. We were family since the second we signed. And I'm still here.
Wow. Well, you're going to be here a long time. I know that because now I want to get into what you got going on now in Mexico, and I'm sure Cindy's going to love this. Cindy and Paco are going to love this. And you were telling me that Adelita is actually not a promotions, but it is a like a 501c3.
Yes, it's a nonprofit organization.
Nonprofit organization. Tell us how you came about Adelita and what that started about.
So I work for PBC. On the pandemic, there was a very few shows, and not a lot of people could go to the shows. We were not allowed to be in the bubble to reduce the people that were in there, you know. So I had a lot of time in my side. And in 2015, no, not 2015. Sorry, that was too far away. In 2019, we wanted to make a tournament. I started meeting with Laura Leiva, which is my girlfriend. She needed help, and she said, I want to make a tournament, but I want to make it worthwhile, you know? And I said, you know, maybe I can help you. I'll come and help you and see what we can do. So we created this tournament. It kind of created because I was involved. It created a little bit of buzz here in Guanajuato. There's no boxing here in Guanajuato. And that's kind of how it started. For the next time, I have a very good friend in Canada. Her name is Helen, and Helen has a group of girls. She has a girls' gym, and for the longest time, she's always been asking me for help. And she's always said, "Librado, is there a way PBC can help me? Is there a way you can talk to these people?" And for some reason or another, I was not being able to get involved. Maybe because I was busy with PBC or the shows or things like that, or maybe it wasn't on my mind, you know. But then this situation in Mexico kind of created that opportunity. And with Ellen, she has West Coast Wonder Woman, and she has Wonder Woman as a representative of their logo and what they're all about. They're like the Wonder Womans of Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
So us talking over here, we wanted to make a tournament, and Laura says, "Hey, but they have Wonder Woman. I kind of want to have a Wonder Woman." And I said, "You know what? We don't need a Wonder Woman. We already have a hero. Mexico has an Adelita." So it was kind of like a little bit of a joke at the beginning, but that idea kind of started talking to us, and it started saying, "Hey." And Adelita has been in bars. It has been on places that for men or whatever, you know, gentlemen's clubs. It has been in kitchens. It has everywhere. But the real meaning of an Adelita, who was a soldadera, who was a soldier, has never had a place in what is being a soldier or being in combat. And the only place I can think of is boxing. Of course, MMA and all that stuff. Says, "Hey, you know what? Why don't we bring Adelita to boxing?" So we kind of created a logo, and somebody from San Miguel de Allende here, he started designing a logo for us, and he came up with this, which it just came out like beautiful. It was something like the real Adelita was talking to us, and we said, "You know what? Let's make it a nonprofit. We can create more opportunity." So little by little, all the girls started joining. All the people started hearing about it. So what is this Adelita about? Since I come from a region of El Bajío, which is the center of Mexico, there's not a lot of boxing here. And to tell you the truth, not to talk bad about the people that are in charge of boxing here, they take advantage of the situation. And I don't like that. They take advantage of the opportunities. They look after themselves. And honestly, I hate people I dislike people that all they do is just look for themselves at the cost of somebody else's blood, which is what happens in boxing. And it's kind of not fair. So I said, you know what? I can do this. Uh, I'll create Adelita. I'll work behind Adelita, and let's find opportunities for these girls. But of course, we cannot just do it for girls. There's men too. And little by little, the guys started joining. But the focus is the girls. The focus is the opportunity for the girls. And then comes this situation about equality and things like that. The way I see it with Adelita, Adelita is not looking to be equal as men. Adelita just wants his place, and that's it. They're not looking or they're not fighting to be equal. There is never going to be equality because man is man and woman is woman, but they do want their place. Just like we've always placed an Adelita in the kitchen because we feel is their place, or an Adelita somewhere in a bar because we think Adelita is the woman of men or whatever. But why not in boxing? Let Adelita fight for its place in boxing. And that's kind of how I'm working. I'm just following the blueprint of what she fought for, or people in the revolution fought for, which it was for their opportunity, for their dreams. And here we are, fighting with Adelita again.
Wow, that's amazing. I love it. I love the name. I put a song up on the post. I don't know if anybody saw it. It was about the Adelita, the Solidar, the female soldier, and it's amazing that you can uplift them and bring them forward. Real quick, I have a few people here that are on board that I'm going to have to do a shout out to real quickly, Librado. And then after this, I want to hear from Cindy. Okay, so I want Cindy to chime in on this because she shares a lot of your feelings as well here being in the U.S. and in women's boxing. So real quick, I got a shout out to my original nuts and bolts, my wife Mary Trujillo. She said, "Merry Christmas to everybody." Ruben Palomeras is watching. Junior Velasco, a good friend of ours here, is watching. Quinn Reyes, he's a warrior from Soboba, he's watching. Jose T. Suarez, thank you for watching. Isaac Johnson, welcome. Anthony Saldana, what's up, everybody? He named everybody out on here. Maria Perez is watching. Thank you for joining us. Omar Batts, he's our production guy who couldn't be with us today due to the holidays and whatever. Sal Garcia, welcome, Sal. Now, I have a very special person that's watching here, and she's one of our top fans, and that's my niece. She goes by Love Romero, but we call her Lita for short, and her real name is Adelita. And she says she's very proud to be named by her dad, Red Eye Romero, rest in peace, after those wonderful, powerful, amazing women. And yet, yes, you are a powerful and amazing woman, my niece. We love you and thank you for always being with us. And then we got Robert Atencio from Denver, Colorado, who's chimed in as well. Welcome, Robert. Appreciate you, man. Merry Christmas.
I was going to say, that's an awesome name, Adelita, because I knew that growing up, Adelitas were the revolutionary soldiers, but women revolutionary soldiers, correct? I mean, I know it's a lot deeper than just that, but that's what I know them as. So
let me tell you guys something about Adelita. Honestly, we all have an Adelita in our home. So it's something we can identify ourselves with. And what is boxing? Boxing is about identifying or attaching your story to somebody. That's why you follow a champion, or that's why the people love their champion, because they can identify themselves to that. They can attach their story to their story. And I feel that Adelita, we all have an Adelita home. Our mom is an Adelita, our sisters an Adelita, the ones that battle for that dream, for the better life, for that liberation of being opposed or suppressed by other people, In our case with our mom, how many times our mom has fought through life without the husband or without a real support? Or how many times our sister has come through with her dream? That really signifies what an Adelita means. Now Adelita signifies a woman of strength, and courage, which that's what our sisters, that's what our mothers are. So I feel that we all have an Adelita at home,
And we have one on this show, luckily for us. Cindy, what do you think of
exactly?
Yeah, I'm totally agree with Librado. I feel like I'm Adelita. It's me. Especially, I've been fighting my whole life since I was little. I lost my mom when I was 8 years old. And I felt that I have to take care of my baby sister. She was only 2 years old. And then eventually I came to this country to work hard to provide to my sisters in Mexico. So I used to have 3 jobs at the same time. All my money, it was for my sisters because they were going to school, because I was the one that left school, that came to this country for a better future, and I wanted to provide for my family. And I'm just, happy that because of me, that part of me, of my hard work, my sisters now, they have a bright future. My older sister, she's here for the holidays, She not only graduated from school, she did a master and a doctorate. And now,
Oh, great.
that she's living well in Mexico. Even my youngest sister too, she's been a teacher from special kids, and it's because part of my hard work, and my dreams too. Fighting in boxing is another part of that. It's so special to me because I did what I most love in my life, fighting for a dream to become a world champion. And it's really hard. It's really hard to just find a place in boxing that they give you the opportunity, like Librado said. I understand and I'm totally agree that Librado said, like, we don't want to be, we cannot have equality between women and men because we are different. As a woman, I like to be a woman. I like to be taking care of my men, but at the same time, I'm strong enough to battle for myself and to fight for my dreams.
Exactly.
And give me an opportunity.
Yeah, so a little bit of Adelita, what was in the time of the revolution, it was when the men used to go in battle. Why were they in battle? They were in battle to stop being suppressed by the haciendas, by the hacendados, which they had all the rules and they had all the money. They didn't get paid. They didn't get to own any land. They didn't get to own nothing. So everything was owned by the hacendados. Everything is owned by the people with money, right? With power. So when they went up in arms, all the men were fighting. When the woman said, "Hey, why are we waiting here at home? Our husbands are not going to come back. We're going to stay alone anyway. Might as well just go fight with them."
Yeah.
And that's how they started going by their side. Not only just to go cook and care for them, but to battle too, to go and fight. And to know the story of Adelita, somebody wrote here that the only Adelitas they know in Tijuana is the Adelitas of the bar,
Not sure what
And
he's talking
that's exactly the misconception of the real Adelita is. They have put her everywhere except
about.
where she belongs, as a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of our freedom fighters. She was a soldadera. And not a lot of people know that because they see Adelita restaurant or they see Adelita this. But Adelita is very Mexican, is very rooted in Mexico. And it's just like Cindy was saying, because they had to do it all. They had to take care of their husband. When we have a dream, men have a dream, all we do is focus on a dream. It's easy. Our woman helps us, our mom helps us, everyone helps us around, and we focus on a dream. But when a woman has a dream, she has to focus on taking care of the man. She has to take care of the house, taking care of everything, and her dream. So sometimes life is not fair. Their place is hard. And I feel in our case with Adelita is they still don't want equality as men, but they do want the opportunity to be who they are. And if it's as women, they take it and I just want to help them provide for them that opportunity. And what is the opportunity that Adelita wants to provide is for them to travel, to go fight other countries, to go create bigger tournaments, to fight, to have a bigger range than just here of their state or their area. So when I was thinking about Adelita and I said, how can Adelita be the script be the same? And I said, well, we can create battles or tournaments in certain places of the country and go battle there. And then we create allies. And then those allies have the same opportunity to go travel with us to other countries. And little by little, I hope that I have at least 3 tournaments out of the country a year and all the rest here in Mexico. But for them to have an opportunity, not only the ones that are really good and they're state champions and national champions and things like that, but for everyone that is willing to dream,
Wow. That's a beautiful dream, and I believe you're going to achieve that. And I love the fact
Thank
that
you, Dave.
I love the fact that the networking and coming together with good people will allow this to grow, and the blessings will be upon it.
Yeah.
Because of like you said, the positive and the negative in the boxing world, and we take the positives and we cling on to it with each other, and we grow with each other, and we network with each other, and we move things forward for the future. Is exactly why we're here for All Angles. We're not here
Yeah.
for any other reason but to give that to
And
the
Dave,
public.
and you may ask, what is the purpose of this? Well, the purpose for this is to be better prepared. It's for them to, if they want to continue in the professional rankings. If Cindy's here, Cindy, if you had the opportunity to go as an amateur and have tournaments somewhere else, not just being the number one in the nation or not just being the best in the nation, but if you were going to choose to be a professional, wouldn't you want to have the opportunity to fight other countries or have that experience? So by the time you became professional, you've already knew and had experience to be in other countries. You already knew how to be hostile in other countries. So you will be better prepared as a professional.
Of
So
course,
that,
yeah, especially like, for my side, amateur boxing was extremely hard. I only had 4 fights, but I went to every single tournament where they supposed to be have the already the pre-match made, but then always, never show. And it was really hard to get amateur fight. And I was thinking, like, if I'm waiting to have any amateur fight, it's gonna be, like never gonna happen. So I'd rather turn pro, where it's more secure, to have a contract and the fight is already made, than waiting to get experience in the amateur field. So that way, I agree with you, because you need the experience. You need to feel comfortable fighting in crowds. So that way, when you turn pro, you already have that confidence. Where
exactly.
in my experience, I only have 4 fights, and I face girls that they have 200 and something fights, as a pro. So
And that's exactly what I want to create. Yeah.
So, Librado, let me be clear. So you're gonna be working with amateurs. You're gonna begin. This is a mostly female amateurs to begin with.
Mhm.
You're not a promotion. What are you like? Trying to be like an amateur sanctioning body, or what exactly Adelita is
No.
trying to be?
In Mexico, there's something that is called the UMBE, and there is the federation, the Mexican Federation, which they control boxing. They will always control it. They have it.
Would you say it's like USA boxing here in US?
Yeah. So there's a few ones here. I belong, or I fit in right where Adelita belongs, on a Mexico, on a boxeo libre. But if the federation asked me to work with them, with all the people that I've been working and they're backing me up as a boxeo libre, hey, we have no problem going to their tournaments and fighting. I really believe that I'm going to create some of the best athletes of Mexico. I really believe so.
Amateur.
In a few years, I really believe I'm going to work for them, provide facilities, provide trainings, and have them go around the country for them to be better prepared. And they're going to have a better career in boxing as professionals. And why not as an amateur?
Wow.
And then there is UMBE, which is run by Mauricio Suleiman, which I've talked to Mauricio, and Mauricio is all in for this. He has my backing up, which he says, anything I can do to help you, I will help you, Librado, which is Mauricio. And I would love to work with him in the future. But as of now, we would like to go see what we can do by ourselves so we can become a force, so Adelita can become a force. And I'm not becoming something separate from them. It's for those athletes that want to compete and go ahead, they will be better prepared if they stay with Adelita or they choose to go with somebody else. So they know they're better prepared. It's not for my good, it's for their good. It's not for what I want to gain, it's for what they could gain. You
And
know,
that's a
Wow,
great
that's
thing,
beautiful.
that's a great platform that you're building there because, like you said, it is the experience. And some of the stories that Cindy has shared with me, because her amateur career started in Durango, and even now when we go to the local events and we see even some of the men when they come up here, you could tell that they're not as prepared as some of the fighters here, whether it be male or female. A lot of it also has to do with education, nutrition, and how they prepared and everything else. Sometimes the fighters that come up this way, it looks like they pick the ones that are willing to make that trip, whether they have the experience or they don't. All they want to do is have the opportunity of making that money, or even of traveling up to here to get more experience, or even just to be able to say, "Hey, I fought in the USA."
yeah.
So I think that by building that platform and helping them develop, they are going to become better athletes, going to perform better by giving them the experience of traveling. When they do travel out of their state or the country, it's going to be a much better situation for them. They'll know how to react to it itself. So that's a great thing.
In,
And
in the in the personal way, and as an athlete, it creates opportunity in all areas. You travel and you start, and we're not just about traveling to go compete other countries. It's sharing our culture. We have our tournament in January 27, 28, and 29 here in San Miguel de Allende, which everyone is welcome. There's a few coming from the United States, and a few are coming from Canada, and the rest are from Mexico. As of now, I think we have 100 athletes that are signed up, and they're going to
right,
compete. So those 3 days, they're going to compete. What they don't know is the surprise that we have for them. It's not just about fighting. It's not about just coming and you fight and go home. It's about sharing our culture. It's about sharing what we have, our towns, our fiestas, uh, our gifts. And they might not be gifts of money and all this, because everything is donated and held by people, but it's a gift of love and opportunity. It's to tell them that we're hungry for that opportunity. Now, when I first kind of started, and uh, you be testament to this, Cindy and Cesar, that they tried to block me. They did all they could to block my tournaments. They didn't want me to do it. They threatened the athletes to not come and compete or participate in the tournaments, because they were Federación or they were Umbe or whatever the thing is. But that they don't understand. I'm making better athletes. I'm making better people. I'm making better kids for them to have the opportunity. I might not be able to cover everyone in the country, but the ones that do get close and the ones that have access to, they will. And if they choose to do whatever they want, they are free to choose whatever they want. I'm not going to threaten them to say, oh, because you compete with these people, you're not welcome in my tournament or this. And they do that here a lot in Mexico. And they block a lot of those opportunities, which is very sad, because all they're looking for is gain for themselves. And they forget it's not about them. It's about the kids. It's about the athletes. It's about the real opportunity for them to grow as people, persons, and athletes.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's fantastic. I'm gonna have to do a real quick shout out here, real fast, Librado. We have Arturo Rodriguez, who is my primo from Denver, Colorado. Thank you for joining us, primo. We got Frank Copeland. His son is one of our boxers and an amateur boxer coming up, and he's going to be doing his debut here next year. We have Leonard Ibarra, who was a guest on our show about, I think he was number 13. Interesting young man out of Colorado. This guy's a banger and a fighter. And then we got one of our biggest fans here. She goes by Tina Trujillo. Caesar shouted her out last week, and that happens to be my mother. Welcome, Mom, to the show. We also have Les Wilcher, who is watching as well, and Felipe Leon from Tijuana is joined the show, and he's watching. Welcome and Merry Christmas to you all.
Yes, shout
Merry
out to
Christmas.
Felipe, a good guy,
Thank
guy out
you.
of
Yeah.
the,
Shout out to Felipe.
he's a good guy out of the Mexican boxing scene, man. He's
Yes.
great guy. Hey,
Yes, he
Librado,
is.
so I wanted to ask you. I know you mentioned you have a tournament coming up. You said you have did you say over 100 people already signed up?
Yep. It's over 75. It's close to 100. There is 12 coming from Canada as of now. 10 coming from United States. It's a little by little growing, and the rest are from all the region of El Bajío, which is Hidalgo, Querétaro, San Luis Potosí, Aguascalientes, Guanajuato, Michoacán, Jalisco, and all around this. So they all signed up. We all have them registered now, and we're really excited about this tournament. We're preparing.
People can still sign up now. You could still
Yep.
add more people. So why don't
Yep.
you tell us where they can sign up? How do you
And-
contact you to sign up? Because maybe there's some girls out there. Is it an all-female tournament?
It's an all-female tournament for 2 days, and then there's the guys tournament. There's 15 spots for guys on Sunday, because on Sunday afternoon we have a fiesta to celebrate everyone. It's like a fiesta surprise. Everyone is invited. But Friday, Saturday, there's 3 blocks, which they'll fight on Friday night, Saturday morning, and Saturday night, and then they rest. We're providing stay and food for them to come, and signups are 250 pesos, which whether they receive a bag with gifts, which are going to be hand wraps, personalized by Adelita, and other little gifts that we're going to preparing in their bag. It's just to bring excitement, to bring back really boxing for them to participate. So they can still sign up.
I'm going to help you with this plug. 250 pesos ends up being about a little over $12 to sign up
Yep.
to fight the tournament. They're going to give you lodging and food, you said, right? Lodging and food.
Yep.
So all you're going to
Yep.
do is show up. You're going to show up. You're going to be able to compete with a lot of top amateurs of Mexico, some Canadian ones. And it's
Yep.
going to cost $12. All you got to do is get there. So
Yes.
where can they contact you, Librado, to make this happen? Because, man, if I have fighters
Adelita Championship, Instagram Adelita Championship, or they can contact me at Librado Andrade, or my athlete page, Librado Andrade Ornelas. So there's many ways.
I
But
think you got something going there, man. I really do, especially right now that women's boxing is starting to pick up a lot of momentum, and you know that if anybody supports Mexican or women boxing is Mexican people. They love women boxers out there. These girls fight, and I think you're doing a great service to them. So hopefully it grows into something big, and we can start bringing these girls.
Thank you. And then this is the medal that they're gonna receive, type of thing. This time it's gonna be second edition, so it's gonna have a number 2. So it's a really cool medal, which is Adelita. And then they receive a gift. It's like a doll, like traditional Maria, in there, in their little bag. And they're gonna have hand wraps. There's a few changes that I do in the tournament. Like I disagree on the way they wrap their hands here in the amateurs, because they just do some weird wrap that doesn't even show any wrapping. Might as well just go with no hand wraps in your hands, you know. But one of the wraps that we're gonna provide, they can use it on the tournament. I want to thank Rival, because Rival is one of our big supporters. They provide with good equipment. Equipment is what they need a lot in Mexico. Sometimes on competitions, there's not good gloves, there's not good headgears, and we are very happy that Rival helps us, and they help us and they provide for good equipment. You know.
That's nice.
So
That's
this
great.
tournament that you're having is the first tournament. Do you have anything else planned beyond this, or you're going?
We had it last year. This is going to be our second one, and from what it was last time, it has grown. Last time was only 1 day. Now we had to split it up into 2 days, and since the kids, the boys want to participate too, so we had to make a third day for the boys. And what I want to have this as different is we're going to have a judge and referee from United States, and we're going to have a judge and referee from Canada, and then the rest are from around the region. So it's not just judging and referees from here. They're going to come and participate with us because they like what we're doing. They really want to see what's all about. And it's all about them. It's all about the athletes. It's about creating their real opportunity to have better athletes, for promoters like yourself, to have better athletes, better opportunity to promote them, to brand them, to know that they've been around the block, like they say. They competed in other countries. So when you are a professional, somebody just offers you a few thousands, you're not going to go risk your life just because of that, because you've been around, you've gone, you've traveled, and you're better prepared. And that's the purpose of all this,
Yeah. What I really am enjoying hearing is the colorfulness of this whole thing, the life that's into this, the breath of life that is breathing into this, with the showing them the culture and giving them that experience. I happen to know a promoter in Mexico that really enjoys bringing those type of experiences to people from all over the world. And he happens to be sitting on our screen with us right here, Cesar Garcia, along with Big Serge Estrada, a 4-time Cut Man of the Year. If you've never seen a Grito de Guerra promotion in Mexico, in Nayarit, or in what is it? I want to say, excuse me for having a brain fart here.
It's called heaven. It's called heaven out there, is what it's called, Dave.
Nuevo.
Actually, Puerto Vallarta and all of that area was called Little Hawaii back in the 80s. It kind of slowed down a little bit, but that was called a Mexican Hawaii.
But I'll tell you, Librado, once you cross the border, because Puerto Vallarta is in Jalisco, right?
Right.
And then you cross the border into Nayarit, and it's Nuevo Vallarta, or now they call it Nuevo Nayarit, and it changes a lot. I mean, it's a bridge. You cross that bridge, and it's completely different from Nuevo Nayarit to Puerto Vallarta. Nuevo Nayarit is like a paradise jungle, like you see on TV. It's very important.
Talking about beautiful places and everything, this tournament of Adelita was born in San Miguel de Allende. San Miguel de Allende, Guanajuato, is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And there's a lot of people from everywhere here, Canada, all over the world, So it's a very beautiful city here too. We don't have the beaches, but all we need is a beach here. And
without a doubt,
have everyone.
You can even, all of Mexico is beautiful, without a doubt. There's different places. I've even been to TJ that has beautiful places, right?
Right. I know, yeah.
I disagree, but Mexico is beautiful. Hopefully we can work someday together and bring what you have to the region of Nayarit. I don't live there, but I'm there often. I love it there. And I know there's a girl there. I don't know if you've ever heard of La Coronita. She's from that area, and she's very popular. And I know she would be a great asset to help in what you're doing.
Let me tell you what is the purpose and what is my goal. Next year, we added a few cities to the tournament. The main tournament is going to be here in San Miguel de Allende, because it's difficult to create a tournament as big as this one with all the help and all that to every city. But we're going to plan a few locations. My goal is to have 9 locations, which is 9 locations in Mexico. It could be Central Mexico, or it could be all over. I've been in talks with people in Sonora, close to the border, and they said they would love to have the tournament over there. We might not be able to call it Adelita tournament over there, but we could be involved and be allies. They can create their own tournament and invite us. Then we go over there and they see what we're all about. They get to see our story. They get to see how we're fighting for opportunities, and then they can join. And then we get together and we get invited to, let's say, Cancun or Playa del Carmen. They create a tournament. They see what we're all about, and then we go compete with them. And this way, we have our athletes that can travel and go and fight like this. And that's my goal, to have 9 locations like that, so they can go participate 9 different places. And in a way, we don't need the federation or the UMBE to create those opportunities for us, because they're taking all the fees, which I don't want to take nothing away from them, because they clearly doing a good job. But why not teach the athletes so they can invest to themselves, so they can have the same experience? They don't have to go through nationals, and they don't have to go through regionals, or to go to Providence competing to accomplish all of this. They can do it if they believe they can do it. So
Wow.
hopefully, if you create that opportunity for us, we can be in talks, and we'll have a tournament over there. We'll get all our people together, and we go compete over there.
I'm gonna make those talks ASAP. I'll tell you that much. We're gonna be in touch, because I see something. I can see that happening in that region. They love boxing. They don't have what you can bring, and I think it's a match made in heaven. So we'll talk about that in the future.
It will be my pleasure.
I think you also need a female ambassador here in the U.S., starting in California, to help out with Adelita.
As soon as we have this under control here in Mexico, and I'm making Adelita United States, and we're gonna call it, it's gonna be a nonprofit in United States. I know it's gonna have a lot more impact, because I can help Mexico a little bit better like that. So I'll have the way I can have my donations and everything. As of now, we're working on getting all the paperwork so we can have donations worldwide for Adelita. It takes a little bit of a longer process, but everything's going in the right direction.
Well, that's fantastic. You know, I just joined a company that we're going to be affiliated with here shortly, and we're going to bring the owners on this show as well. And it's Fund Youth Sports. And I'm going to use it in the boxing world, just like they use it in the soccer world, the basketball world, football world, or what have you. And I want to bring it to the attention, and I want to see how we could cross borders to Mexico, because our hearts are in Mexico as well. But it's called Fund Youth Sports, and hopefully I'll be able to connect you with them as well.
And sometimes you might think that you need a lot of money, and honestly, you don't need a lot of money. It's like $1,000 can go a long way here in Mexico. We can create a whole tournament with $1,000,
Wow.
with equipment, with medals, with participation, and all that stuff. And it's not that expensive as one first thinks, you know. But
so
anyway,
you said you're nonprofit, so you're not going out just doing this to make a profit, obviously, but it still costs money. It still costs money. How do you get the funding for this? Is it through donations, and if it is through donations, then send a
as of now it's been through donations, and myself and Laura and everyone around San Miguel de Allende. Everyone puts a little bit of on the pot, or however they can help. We only been up for 1 year, and I think it's been a great year. And next year we're going to be a little bit stronger. Next year we're going to have our accounts already set, so people can start donating through there.
Wow, fantastic. Real quick, I got to do another shout out. There's a couple more people have joined us. Shout out to Roca Sports. Thanks for joining us. We're going to have their show tomorrow night. I believe it's at 6 p.m. Welcome. Merry Christmas. We've got Jason Vincent, who has jumped on board as well. We have the champ, George Rodriguez, right here out of East Los Angeles. Welcome, George. Thank you for joining us. Merry Christmas. And we also have Daniel Duarte, who seems to know Librado, and he is on the watching the show as well. Merry Christmas. Welcome.
Hey, Daniel. Hey, nice to hear from you.
It's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Cindy, I'd like to ask you, I mean, as this gets going, I want to support Adelita any way that I can. I think we all do here. Maybe there's something. Yeah, maybe there's something we could do to help you here, Librado. We really cherish Cindy. She's a woman after my own heart, not to mention she is an Adelita herself. But she came from boxing, and now she's going into women's bodybuilding and bikini competitions, and that's how. But she's still plugged into the boxing world, and she's got a future in it no matter what. If there's anything that could come our way that we can help with here in the United States, we would love to be a part of that.
Yeah, and I truly believe once people get to see the story of how Adelita works and what we're doing, a lot of people are gonna join in, because honestly, we're not up to ourselves. We want to help. We want to help these kids. You should see the face on the kids sometimes when they put like rival gloves and like brand new gloves and things like that. The smile they have that they're gonna compete on those gloves when they're just so used to competing like pieces of crap. Honestly, sometimes it gets me. Sometimes it gets me mad that I see them put the glove on and they get so happy. And sometimes they give them a hard time the way they wrap their hands, or they don't want to wrap their hands. I'm like, dude, it's worse the boxing gloves that you have and the equipment that you have than wrapping their hands. It's just amazing. It's just let them wrap their hands. It's been proven that a good wrap is not going to improve any power or any damage on somebody, but it's going to protect your hands.
Yep.
And over here they change hand wrappings. They call it anillos and all these things. They change all these ways for what?
They
To
all
protect
find a way
yourselves.
to do the right. Yeah, you're right. Because people is getting lazy, in all these gyms that they want to train boxing, they don't teach anything, they don't even know how to wrap your hands. And that's the basics,
So
and it makes me mad when I see, these people trying to teach boxing and they don't know anything about it. They don't even know how to wrap, the kids, or teach
yeah,
them the stance or do anything, like old fashioned like we did, like we did. Well, in my case, I was like almost a hormone trying to do my stance and throwing the 1 and 2, and it's different. I remember the excitement too when I put the first pair of gloves that I could buy it by myself. It was just
yeah,
amazing. It was like emotion and excitement, and I was carrying my gloves all over because I was so happy and proud. Yeah,
yeah.
I can relate with the little kids.
We got to plug you with Big Surge so you guys can set up maybe like a seminar or some kind of a clinic to show the hand wrapping out there. That would be cool
No,
because
the thing is that they sometimes know it, but just they don't
They
allow.
don't
They
allow
don't
it.
want to allow you to do it.
I didn't know that.
They
Yeah,
feel it's like an advantage when you're cheating.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
my family comes from just the other side of the river, Librado. We're from Michoacan. We're from the other side of the Rio Lerma.
Okay.
We are from a small little town there in Michoacan, in between Curandero and La Piedad.
Uh-huh.
And I grew up. I was born here, taken back to Mexico. I was there till I was 7 years old, and I witnessed everything there. I was very fortunate that my parents were able to give us a little bit better. But a lot of my friends, like you said, our sport back there was soccer. There was a lot of them that were playing barefooted because they didn't have any shoes. And sometimes when I had shoes that had holes, and they saw that I was going to throw them away, they were happy to have those. Even though there was a big hole on the sole or whatever. But that, I mean, like you said, their smile, it's priceless.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's a great
Satisfaction.
platform that you're building, and you're definitely gonna have a great impact on kids. And like
Thank you.
everything else, anybody that you're able to save or touch or make their lives better, it's gonna be worth it. Definitely
Thank you.
worth it.
And the purpose of all this at the same time is I'm not trying to divide Mexico. Mexico is so divided already. It's so divided. It's incredible. I'm not trying to divide them. I'm trying to unite them for them to have the opportunity of something better.
Sure.
Not just whatever the government says or whatever the sanctioning body says, is they deserve a lot better, because it's because of them that they create all these programs and they have all this opportunity to do tournaments and things like that. At least treat them right, just treat the kids right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that there's a lot of work to be done. Well, not only here, but everywhere.
Yeah, and
And
there's another thing that I don't like that they don't do here is that they don't use the record book. You don't know if somebody here has 100 fights or 5 fights. It's funny. Some girls that are like 12, 13 years old, and they had like 50 fights already.
wow,
It's
yeah,
incredible, but they can't prove it.
yeah,
They have no proof. They fight every weekend or something like that. Then
wow.
they don't use the record books. Then they don't do yearly physicals. So that's something that Adelita is going to start doing in our tournaments. We're going to help them do their physical. So when they come to this tournament and they haven't done their physical is going to be done. So when they leave, they're going to leave with a paper that Adelita is gonna make a format of what a physical should be, other things that need to be checked. So they're going to leave with that form, and that form is going to be good for the whole year. Of course, there's follow-ups and things like that they should do on their own, but just like in the United States, each year you have to turn in a physical. So we're going to have to do that here with Adelita. And it's not for us, it's for them. So they can go compete with whoever they want or be wherever they are. They know they're okay.
Now it
So
sounds
that's
like
another thing.
now you're talking about wanting to work with these other sanctioning or amateur sanctioning bodies out there, yet you're bringing in this a lot of new innovation and physicals and trying to be more organized. I mean, is it your goal to eventually be the sanctioning body for amateur boxing in Mexico?
No, let me tell you, the system is going to fall apart. Everything is going to fall apart very soon. And it's going to be a mess. There's already been talks for a few years that boxing is not going to be in the Olympics. If all these organizations and all these federations, they can't give you the Olympic dream, then what can they give you? We're already given them the rest of the stuff, traveling, competing with other people, traveling around Mexico, traveling to other states. And if they invite us to go travel to Denmark or to travel to Spain or whatever, we can do it. We can prepare them. We get the paperwork necessary for them to travel. So once the AIVA and all of these organizations can't give you the Olympic dream, then what else? What else do they have?
Streets.
To get
So
ready
free for all. So free for all.
or
Yeah.
to get ready for the pros.
Such a
So-
beautiful thing to have an organization created for them to go to and for them to be participate
Yeah.
and advance in their lives. I mean, structure is what all of our children need from all over the world.
That's what I want to give to the ones that want to compete with us or participate with us. Is structure. That is structure for them to carry them to wherever they want to go.
No matter what they decide to do in their lives, at least they understand some type of discipline and structure.
Yeah,
And
structure.
understand that,
Yeah,
and understanding, boxing, that there's a pain that they're going to reach. That boxing, I always said this too, is boxing is a way for you to truly get to know yourself, because boxing takes you into the deep ends of your own self and your mind and your body. And when you can be a part of something like this, the world doesn't seem so evil and mean and terrifying as you go into it, because you know who you are. Once you know who you are, and most boxers do, especially when they come out of the amateur leagues, they know who they are. They have a confidence about them that was built
Yeah.
in them, that they creative. And you see other people, combat sports, football, any organized sports. I mean, it's such a blessing all the way around for these kids to be a part of. But there are so many people in this world, like you said, that don't have those opportunities. They don't have the funds. The government isn't backing you up. The city, wherever state you're at is not backing you up, and they become unfortunately, they become, how do you say, part of the system.
yeah.
It's
That's
athletes.
what is happening. Go ahead,
It's
Paco.
athletes that fall through the cracks.
Mhm.
Of society. We sometimes have great athletes. They have natural ability of going all the way to the top, but there's nothing there to help them, nothing there to get them forward. I mean, yeah, I mean, local little regions, whether it be their little town or the region where they're at, they might be well known because they can, get it one-on-one and be able to do something. But when it comes to compete, especially when you're competing internationally or going to different areas, it's a different sport, and they're not prepared for that. Guidance, they don't guide them the right way either. That's where you get a lot of these athletes that they do great for 3 to 4 years, and then they go their own way. They sometimes hang out with the wrong people, take the wrong route, wrong roads, and their career is over.
Yeah.
No one to protect them. They get hurt, and their career is over.
Yeah.
So it's a great thing. I mean, everything that I'm listening, I love it. You are putting new standards, and that's good because their standards not as a benefit to you, but as a way to help and develop this new generation of boxers, especially like David mentioned earlier. The women's boxing is growing, and like we made the comment, women are not equal to men. So by having them having the physical, having them track their fights, you want to make sure that you're putting them with the right opponent and not getting them hurt or any way. These are great points, and I applaud you for that, man. I really do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Same here. Same here. Well, everybody, we're just a little bit above an hour. Librado, is there anything else you'd like to speak about and share with our audience? Exactly, tell us where to find Adelita. This is not going to be the last we're going to hear of you. We're going to want you on the show more, and we want to develop with you as well here in the U.S. and feed you maybe some amateurs out there in Mexico. Could be a possibility we could work with. So
I would
please,
love to have you guys. Yeah.
That would be great.
So what I want to add is that you have the invitation, come to our tournament. Let us show you what we're all about. That's the best way I can put it. Everyone kind of always asks me, so what is this about? What is this? I have fighters, I have girls, I want them to compete. I say, come to my tournament. I'm making it very affordable for you guys to be able to come. You guys will see what it's all about, and then you'll just get it from right there. After that, just give yourself a chance. Come over to San Miguel de Allende. As it is, it's a beautiful city. It's a very attractive city to go visit. The food is fantastic. The people are fantastic. You get a diversity of people from all over the world. You get a taste of all of it. It's here in Guanajuato where everything started. Our independence started here. This is where the La Marcha del Cura Hidalgo started, here, right next door to us. You get to learn a little bit of culture. Just come to our tournament, and then you'll see what we're about. And then your head will start spinning and say, I can help you with this. I can do this. This could be better. And we're all open for that. I know a lot of people here in Mexico are so frustrated about not knowing what to do with the situation. Sometimes they say there's no opportunity. There is opportunity. There is people that are willing to help. There is hope. We just got to work for it. We just got to unite. All of these associations and federations and things like that, they started as something. They started like us, like we're starting. We can grow. The only reason they have power is because more people believe on them and more people support them. But if you support something that really represents who you are and what you want in life, it could grow. We can make it better. And that's all I'm asking. Just come to our tournament. You could be as a guest. You could be as anything you like. You'll be treated the same way.
I already feel welcomed.
That's awesome.
I already feel welcomed. I think everybody else here feels welcomed. You
would love San Miguel de Allende, Dave. Cindy, if you guys want to come, Paco, you guys are more than welcome. Come see these girls compete, coming from everywhere, and help us grow it.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Be more than glad to.
You too, Cesar. You're more than welcome. You're gonna need future. You're gonna need future athletes.
Dude, my mind's already like spinning. Like, I want to do this. I want to figure something out. I mean, first and foremost, it's an honor to. I'm so lucky to call this work. I mean, I get to speak with guys that I looked at on TV. I'm a fan of boxing first, so to be able to talk to people such as yourself, who I watched and cheered for, is an honor. You're definitely our uncrowned champion in the heavier weights as a Mexican, and it's good to see that you're making a positive. You're trying to make a positive change in Mexico. I agree. It's the amateur system is really fractured, and to see you doing something to fix that is it's pretty respectable and honorable of you to do that. And hopefully, whatever I can do as a promoter in Mexico, and even somebody who's involved in the boxing industry here in the U.S. and everywhere, let me know. I'd be more than happy to be part of what you have. We'll figure something out. We'll put them in. Maybe we can have them fight next to the pool, right, Dave? I could put that together. Have a tourney out there and have a good old time. We'll have guys doing the ring cards for them. We'll have girls fighting.
Thank you, Cesar. Thank you, Cesar.
I believe the roles have to turn sometimes.
And the reason why I chose here in the amateur stuff like that, I'm not gonna come here to this country and say, you know what, I was a fighter, I can do this, I can do that. No, I can't. But I can grow with them, and I can help them create a path for them. I am very thankful to boxing. I am very thankful to Al Heyman, to Sylvia, to all of the PBC family. I am so thankful to who they've made me to be. I never want to fail them. And I know something good out of me will come out from that. And I just want to give back to all these kids. Just like they see all these fighters in PBC and they see them on TV, because sometimes they ask me, do you see Errol? I said, yeah, I see Errol Spence. Hey, tell them I say hello or whatever, invite them or things like that. It's not that easy. But sometimes I say, do you see Deontay Wilder? Do you see the Charlo brothers? Do you see these guys? I tell them that I see them like all the time and things like that. They get so excited. It's just like they're grabbing a piece of that. And it's like they're dreaming that they could be that. And that's all we need, type of thing, We just need to feed them hope.
Librado, that's me right there. That's
them,
me. That's me. I tell Cindy all the time. She sometimes tells me, hey, watch your mouth. Just a person right now. Don't overdo it. But like I said, I'm still a fan. I'm still that. I still have a kid in me that look up on those TV screens of these great fighters. That when I started boxing at the age of 8, I had my wall plastered with all these great magazine fighters all over the place, and I still feel the same way. The day that I met you, I mean, I was like, oh my God,
thank you, man. Thank you.
All the women that were there, Chrissy Martin and all of them. To hear the story of the first female in California to have her license here in California, I was like, wow, that is great. But yeah, there's a lot of kids like that,
And we were so fortunate at the same time that we got to put Adelita there, thanks to West Coast Wonder Woman in Canada.
Yeah.
Them to look them up. West Coast Wonder Woman. Ellen is doing an amazing thing in Canada too.
Yeah,
and there's always roadblocks. People always, when you want to do something good, they want to block you. And that's when we need all the help in the world, because we have enemies, not exactly enemies, but we have like what they call people that they want to help us from doing that, But we're not going to let them. Whatever we can do. And
let's do it. Let's see what we can do to help out this whole situation. It's such a beautiful dream and coming to life right in front of our eyes.
And
Cindy,
for the first time, Adelita is where she belongs, as a fighter, as a soldadera, as a soldier. Adelita is now in boxing. Thanks to these girls.
That's awesome.
That's what I feel really proud of, And I tell all the girls, you guys are Adelita. It's not, we're not Adelita. You guys are. You guys are an Adelita. And they get all happy because they can get to, be that. So thank you guys for having me.
Oh, thank you for being on with this, Cindy. Our Solarita right here, our Adelita. What do you have to say here before we?
Well, it was a pleasure to be talking to you guys in this show. It's an honor to have met Librado, and for me, you guys are beautiful people. You, David, and Cesar.
Oh,
It makes me feel like I'm in a good place with good people. We're reaching to the same goals. That is to grow, as a person and to help others too. That's very important that, because a lot of times as a fighters, we have our ego. Like, okay, I was this champion, I fought this, I fought that. But to put that aside and put your life to use and stay on the, backstage and to help, the future, that's amazing. Like they say en español, dicen, mi papá tiene un dicho que dice, el que no vive el que no vive para servir, no sirve para vivir. And that's, Librado, he's doing everything to help others to be better. And to me, when I met Librado, I just felt like, what a beautiful human being he is. He's just
Thank
so
you, Cindy. Thank
charismatic,
you.
good energy. You can feel it. Like I was like, oh, me and Paco were talking like, it's amazing. Like you feel that connection and that energy with good people. That's awesome. So I'm just very happy to be part of your show, and thank you for inviting us. And I just wish you the best on everything you guys do. I wish you the best for Adelita. Thank you so much for do this for the women's boxing, and same as David, Trujillo, that he's an amazing guy doing so much for the community. And thank you for inviting me to be part of your toy drive. And Cesar, like, it's amazing that you have been, promoting the fights in Mexico. I think that's awesome. Hopefully soon I can be part of your promotion, just to as a fan or whatever. I'll be happy, guys, to be part of
Thank
anything
you.
you guys do.
We were talking the other day.
For the last thing, I want to add that's what I want to teach the girls too. I want to create an outlet, a platform for not just to work for them, but for them to grow on it, paint the road, and for them to help the next generation, the ones that are coming. We have a few girls that are there, and I would love them to stay Adelitas for the rest of their life. I always gonna tell them, Adelita is not plural. We don't call them Adelitas. Each one is an individual, Adelita. And I'm going to help them as much as I can. I'm going to show them the path. I'm going to help them become world champions, idols, and everything. So as much as I can, but then I'm going to ask them to work for Adelita after boxing is done, so they can have a job, so they can help in the future. That's going to be my goal. That's what I really want for all of this. So sometimes people thought I was just a little club or a little gym that I just say this Adelita or whatever it is. But no, since the beginning, I had a huge plan. And the plan was to create something big for them, something big for them to really grow and be a future. So I hope I'm able to do that in this life and continue to help them.
Well, we see your vision and we applaud you by that.
Sure.
We see that.
Thank you.
Paco, did you want to finish up with any last words?
Yeah, just like going back to what Cindy was, saying about, we were having a discussion a couple of weeks back, and we're talking about, regarding how tough times are right now, with everything that's going on around us and everything else. But we are looking at the positive side, and we are just, we are so grateful for 2022 and having the great opportunity of meeting all of you guys. I mean, every one of you guys has been a true blessing to us. And just that alone, I mean, relationships like you guys, we are some of the richest people around. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm still a fan, and I'm still like, But the most important thing is just to recognize that we have made connections. We are surrounded among great, great people. We see the movement of the women boxer, the female fighter. And like I was telling Cindy, I go, oh, babe, 23 is going to be an awesome, awesome year. We have made great connections with great people. It will be. And it's just going to continue to grow. And we're just so happy to be on that front of that wave as that wave getting bigger and bigger. So thank you guys. We do appreciate you, and we love every single one of you guys.
Sí. Well, en boxing, Nájera, Marta, cheers.
Yep, Marta Nájera. Yeah, Nájera. Well, not Martha is in Baja California, Mexico, and she say, I am the first female boxing promoter. Congratulations, Martha. Congratulations.
She's an Adelita.
You're an Adelita, Martha, and we're proud of you as well, and we'd love to get you on the show too. So I'm going to be talking to you and hitting you up and see how you're doing down there. Well, next one I'm going to ask is this man here is my right-hand man, and everything that I've done, he supported me in everything that we do. And I'll tell you what, the show couldn't happen without him, nor can a lot of things behind the scenes happen without him. And because of him, him and our partner, Sergio Estrada, Big Serge, the Cup Man, and a few other people that we're together with are making a lot of things happen behind the scenes. So 2023 is a big blessing. So I want to shout him out, Cesar Garcia and his wife Erica. They're rooted with us, and they're such a blessing to us. And I want to ask you, Cesar, any last words, sir?
No, I'm just pretty excited to continue to watch what Librado has working, to see it develop into something big. The women's game is in need of somebody like Librado. And I think it's in need of somebody like Librado in more than just the amateur game, in the professional game as well. It'll probably eventually lead to that, I'm sure. But for now, whatever he needs, whatever you need, and whatever women's boxing in not only Mexico really, but in all the world, whatever they need, I'm here. I'm on board to help. They're the best fights. And no matter what, I like to watch fights. And
that's the purpose. The purpose is for me to grow with them and help them become professionals and help them to become world champions. Awesome. That is the goal.
Look forward to being part of that journey, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, Cesar, do you have any female fighter already in your
stable?
Yes.
No, I have a female fighter that she's not my fighter. She's my matchmaker. That he's my matchmaker in Mexico. His fighter, and I guess he says that it's our fighter, but in reality, he brought her up. He's the one that had her fight about. I think she fought like 2 months ago. Ashley Gonzalez out of Tepic Nayarit became a world champion. She fought La Barbie Juarez. She has a younger sister. Rihanna Juarez has a sister. Somebody that is a sister.
Yeah. Lulu.
There you go. She fought Lulu, and so she became.
She beat her in Tijuana. In Tijuana, right?
Gonzalez. She became the world champion. So she's a champion now. So I can say that yes, I have a female world champion, but she's not my fighter. I'm not gonna take credit, but she is part of our stable, and she is a champion. She walks around with the belt. Whatever you need, Librado, you need her to help you guys. We'd be more than happy, because pushing women's boxing is in Mexico is what's needed, and whatever we can do to help, again, we'll do it, man. And we do have a champion.
Mexico has the best women fighters.
They do, and the meanest ones
too.
The
meanest ones, yeah. Yes. Okay, so a quick little story. Sometimes we're matching the fighters from Canada and things like that, right? And sometimes they say, "No, I think she's gonna be too strong for the Canadian girl." I said, "You just have to take the fight." It's because if you want me to find somebody with no experience, I'm gonna have to train her like this month so she can be ready next month. Because if I tell her now, 3 months into the thing, she's gonna have like 10 fights, she's gonna have all this experience already, and then you're still gonna want to fight her.
You know what I tell them? The amateurs, when they fight, I tell them it doesn't matter if you compete with somebody better, it's better for you, right? It doesn't
Better,
matter.
yeah.
They don't see it like that. They don't see it like that. But
I tell them,
only Mexicans see it like that. And then this is the other thing.
no, I tell them, guess what? You're still an undefeated professional, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. But and I tell them this is the thing. The thing for Mexican fighters is that they have nothing to go back to. They have that in their head. They have that program and the way they think. It's like you put me into a fight, I'm gonna fight until the end because I have nothing to go back to.
Yeah.
Opposed to other countries like in United States, Canada, and all these other places that are better conditioned. It's like hell no, I don't want to get a beating. I'd rather go back to my job.
Yeah.
Mexicans don't have nothing to go back to. So if you just put that in your mind that you have nothing to go back to, I guarantee you're gonna be good. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes episode number 16. This was the final 2022 show for All Angles Boxing and Combat Sports. And who couldn't have made it better than everybody that's on this right here on this screen right here, from Librado Andrade bringing us Adelita for the future of 2023, and Cindy Amador coming into 2023 with Paco Perez supporting all of us as well. It's going to be a phenomenal year. Even though the world goes off, see, the thing about it is we create our own. Even when the world is going down or going bad, the negativity, we thrive through it. Why? Because we're all workers. We work hard. The humility and bringing everybody that comes on this show, the light to the future of amateur boxers to professional boxers and all around the boxing and combat sports world. We're blessed. And I will say this again, just like my peeps in Colorado, House of Pain, all the original House of Pain guys, including myself, boxing saves more lives than it will ever take. And we stand by that. And Librado, thank you for blessing us. Cindy and Paco, thank you for blessing us. And my right hand man, Caesar, thank you for blessing us. This was a phenomenal show. And I'm going to keep on playing this thing for throughout the next first of the month in January. And then I want to bring Librado back on and see how he's doing in 2023 and see if there was any way we could help him. So that being said,
championship.
Yes, Adelita Championship, and God bless everybody here. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Happy holidays, and everything. We are